All right, party people, welcome. What's poppin'? This is another episode of Pop Talk. We are the pundits of pugilism. This is Professor NIMS. I'm giving it up for my man, the Casual Rand.
What's up?
Boston Jared.
Peace.
And Coach Dave. All right, so we're going to jump right into the content for the day. So with that said, let's talk about something that does kind of impact PBC and their funding model, and which is the pay-per-view numbers for Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius came in, and they were not pretty at all. We're gonna say that they are firmly in the red, and that is not a good thing. Because they
77,000, right?
77,000 is the reported number.
Which Rick Glaser, who the Crawford, who the Spence fans and the PBC boys love to hate on, Rick Glaser gave us those numbers like a week ago, like a day or two after the fight. So
really,
for all y'all out there that like to shit on Rick Glaser, who the fuck is Rick Glaser? Who is this guy? He gave us that number days before Dan Raphael released that shit today. Just FYI. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cam.
But so with that said, and we'll start with the casual one because I see he came prepared. He's actually has notes and stuff like that. So what do you think that this means for PBC going forward? Not just, and then we can kind of speak with them and how they're going to handle Deontay Wilder. So do we need to kind of pull back on having him fight these pay-per-view fights unless it is against a viable opponent like an Anthony Joshua or even somebody like a Dillian White at the lowest? But do you think that having Deontay Wilder fight on pay-per-view is going to be a viable business model for PBC?
I mean, I think this one, I think the expectations was low anyway. I think when I heard most people talk about it, they said like they expected 150. But then you got to realize what day it came on. My name is the Casual Rand, but I ain't a casual fan. You know what I'm saying? But the casual fans, they got fights starting at 2:00. You know, and the professor we was all up there watching this in North Carolina, and my old ass, I had to take naps. You know what I'm saying? We have fights starting at 12 o'clock, 2:00 all the way through 1 in the morning. You know, so I think casual fans were like, look, man, I got my fill of boxing, so I'm not going to sit there and buy a pay-per-view for somebody to see Wilder knock out his training partner.
But I mean, it's heavyweight. Usually, like the biggest draws are always heavyweight fights. Not only that, it's the return of Deontay Wilder.
True, but still, like I said, man, it was a fight overload weekend. And then, but the gate, I have yet to see the number on gates, but it seemed like the place was packed at the Barclays. He's fighting his sparring partner. And we had a whole bunch of other like top-notch fights that we. So
I think that's fair. So right, we also have to remember that there was a cancellation that was 5 weeks prior. So that put
the Shields, the women's fight did.
So that put the Shields and the women's fight on that same date. Not only that, right? We had the Haney and Camboso's fight in there. But to me, as a boxing fan, I'm like, I love them. I'm
for the promotion side, the planning side, they couldn't have foreseen that because of the Clarissa Shields part. But yeah, man, that was just,
they could have foreseen playoff fucking baseball though. Isn't that what the Yankees were on?
So that means football and shit. Then you pretty much saying that we shouldn't have fights from like November through January. That's
not on pay-per-view.
Hey, so put it like this. Then I mean, this is the last thing I'm in on this. All right, so it was 77,000 pay-per-views at $80, $75 per pay-per-view, right?
$80.
All right, let's say 80. Now multiply that to get your answer, and then go to Terrence Crawford, and we'll see their pay-per-views are $40.
Yeah.
But they're if you see that they're backed up against Top Rank, they're backed up against their own fighters. So Keyshawn, Bomac going to figure out. Bomac going to have to figure out if he's going to go to the Terrence Crawford fight or the Keyshawn fight.
No, he had nothing to figure out.
Huh?
He has nothing to figure out.
I'm just saying they both fighting on the same day. So Top Rank got a card the same day as the BLK card is. So
what that got to do with money? You was talking about money.
I'm saying, so they let me finish this out. Y'all shitting on Deontay Wilder's number, and I'm telling you, the 75,000 times 80 pay-per-view is going to shit on Crawford's $40 pay-per-view in December.
So so that is at $80 a pop, that is $6,160,000 that they get. That's just from the pay-per-view. There's the gate, but we're assuming that Deontay Wilder got at least 8 figures for this fight. So they still have almost $4 million to make up without even kind of paying.
Yeah. I didn't bring up the purse that they paying out the fighters. I'm talking about the pay-per-view.
No, but I mean that's what you have to make the numbers. You have to, that's why the numbers have to make sense. Because of the
I understand what you're saying, but I'm going on totally gross. You know what I'm saying? Because I never said anything about the gate. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure, I'm 1,000% sure that the ticket to go to damn Barclays is gonna be 100 times more than going to the damn whatever the fuck center they showing.
But it's not just that, Randy. It's not just that. It's not just pay-per-view buys. It's parking, it's gate, it's merchandise, and you have no idea what kind of deal PBC has with the Barclays and what kind of deal BLK Prime has cut with the people who run the MCI Plus or the MCI Center or wherever the fuck it's going to be at. You just don't know. So it's like it's
you don't. So you don't know. So that's why I boiled it down to pay-per-view numbers. Y'all start bringing in extra, you know what I'm saying, variables, and then we can go down that rabbit hole. But if you wanted, when we started this conversation, y'all started with the 77,000 pay-per-views. And I'm ending my portion saying that with the 77,000 pay-per-views, is going to be more than the Crawford Avezina fight.
So, but what does that mean? Randy, but if the Avenesian Crawford fight is able to make money in the PBC event, they lose money. What difference does that make? Let's say Crawford does less buys. It's the same argument. How are they gonna make money? They paying Bud eight figures. And how much are they paying Avenesian?
No, I don't know.
At least the site fee. What's the site fee? At least gonna make that.
Now you're going back, bringing in other variables. I'm going by pay-per-view numbers. I went attack one avenue. Y'all bring,
but that's not how you do that, Randy. Because that's just,
bro.
That's not,
bro. Put it like this: that Wilder fight is going to do better than the damn Crawford fight.
Better in what sense? You think the Wilder fight is going to? You think the Wilder fight is going to break even, lose money, or make money?
So one that to add a variable. So the Barclays for boxing has a capacity of around 16,000. So this is not like.
And what's the capacity of the?
I think it's 20,000.
Yeah, I'll figure out. Yeah,
what is it? The MCI Center. And I tell you this, I bet you it costs less to rent that center where Crawford's fighting. You also got parking because there's no metro. You can't take the train to the Barclays.
You bring in variables that will never be ill. That we can argue this all day because those numbers are never going to be put out.
You're right, but the point I'm trying to make
is the numbers that are going to be put out is the pay-per-view numbers. So you'll know that if he did 100,000, if he do 100,000 and he charging $40, and then he do X amount of pays, and then Wilder did 77,000 at $80. And you know what I'm saying? He's going to have X amount of money. That's all I was putting together.
But that's not how you determine if an event is successful or not. It's, do you make money? Do you break even? Or are you in the red?
Bro.
Well, but part of it, though, is one thing I do want to add. So this is I think this is more close to the zone in their kind of funding model, because I think you have to subscribe to, BLK Prime, which is around $3 or $4. So they're banking on that we're going to get an uptick in subscribers.
Wait. We got to make sure we're being specific, because the zone has subscription rates and they have one-time buy fees, right? Like with Canelo Alvarez, if you had a DAZN subscription, you were able to get the fight at a subsidized rate, right? With this BLK model, that's not the way it's been explained to me. From what I understand, it's a $40 one-time fee. So it's not really the same as what DAZN is doing, because DAZN has yearly subscriptions, they have quarterly subscriptions, they have 6-month subscriptions. So I don't think it's the exact same. Not to nitpick.
Okay, yeah, I think that. So I'm looking at it now, and if you go on to there, it looks like there is a button to subscribe, which is at $3.99 a month, and then a button to do a pay-per-view. But there is not a lot of information around that. But I mean,
That's where they money at.
I think that it would be kind of port right. So if you're trying to increase your subscribers for it, wouldn't they have some type of a model that would allow them to get a discount on a pay-per-view if they subscribe to the? You
would think so, but who subscribe to BLK Prime? I think they're just banking on people wanting to see Crawford.
Again,
$40
really? Really?
I mean, let me ask you this. Do you think is Avanesian any less or more well-known than Victor Postal?
To me, he is. I mean,
as a person who follows boxing, but as a casual
no, they're both just kind of foreign names in there. But
exactly, that's my point. This thing probably does the same amount of buys, hopefully, as like a Victor Postal, and they did like what 85,000 buys or something like that. I think. Yeah. Victor Postal.
Do you remember the rate roughly for that?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember the rate.
All right. So I mean, boxing is they're gonna have to
crazy
find money somehow.
Isn't this shit fucking crazy?
This is gonna be so Coach, as a promoter and as a coach, do you think that with giving these pay-per-view numbers that are there, that do you see a future for Wilder in this doing another pay-per-view fight? I mean, I guess at this point he really has to fight pay-per-view, right? You can't really bring him back to in any other kind of funding model because he just commands too much money.
So yeah, all right. So I think. I mean, look, a lot was said, man. Y'all jokers was, and I talk about it, man. I mean, I prefer to stay on the boxing and the training side, but since I do promote and do all that stuff, I think the most important thing said today, believe it or not, man, was Boston Jarrett. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I don't care what different, ways you think about it. At the end of the day, I'm trying to tell you, at the end of the day, any promoter at any level, all right. Did I make money? Did I break even? Or did I lose money? That ain't that at the end of the day, all the hypotheses and all that shit you want to think about it. Look, man, did I make money? Did I break even? Or did I lose money? That's what everything boils down to. So Jarrett, like, absolutely excellent point in terms of, I think just showing your diversity and the holistic look at this boxing stuff. You know what I'm saying? We can analyze fight, but on that business side, as a promoter, that's what you're going to be thinking about. And really, that's with any business. That's with any business, man. So with Wilder, though, hey, look, man, you can't bring this joker back down to club fights. You know what I'm saying? You can't. He can't go fight in the gym. He can't, it's going to have to be some type, of televised event. And people will still want to go and see him. The big fights is out there. I mean, honestly, man, he got to be strategic and select with it, man. And that's just it. I would rather see him go do something with some of those cats over in England or somewhere, man, and make all that. If we're talking about money, I would rather see him go, because if he don't fight Fury, Joshua, I mean, it's just it's limited. If he's not going fight, if he's not going overseas to fight, then he need to go head on and just rebrand himself as the Joker that's knocking off all these new up and comers. Go on and fight Anderson and some other folks that might be trying to come up. But if you're trying to get banking money, get overseas and fight in London.
So, yeah, I think he could go to Abu Dhabi and get
about
40 mil.
How many pay-per-views y'all think if he fights Ruiz?
I said over 200, between 200 and 250, 275-ish, maybe.
Yeah,
if they promote the shit.
Strong. That's strong.
And you don't think that's y'all think that's chump change?
No, if they're paying Wilder $20 million to fight, it is. Yes, Randy. That's why I said
it really depends if it's at $80 a pop. So, for example, for them to make $10 million on pay-per-views at basically $40 a pop, they would need to sell 250,000. So this is for the Bud fight, right? So if you double that, right? So basically 20 million. So if they do 250,000 at $80 a pop, that would be $20 million just on pay-per-view.
But remember, Cam, a percentage of that goes to the broadcaster. So if that's on Fox or if it's on whatever, it goes to the broadcaster. So that's money that's overhead right there, right? And that's what I always, whenever I talk to these cats, when everybody compare pay-per-view numbers or so-and-so to this, so-and-so to, all that shit is fucking irrelevant, man. Like Dave said, break even, make money, lose money. And like Randy said, we never ever have access to any of that information, bringing it back to the whole Bud Crawford situation, right? Because this is what Bud Crawford wanted access to, right? I'm getting a percentage of the back end. I want to know what the expenses are so I can figure out how much I'm making. These motherfuckers never ever release that shit. So we have no idea if
that's a whole different topic.
All right, but wait. We have no idea if these events are successful or if they are not successful, because we never ever, like Randy pointed out, we never ever have access to any of that information. All we know is pay-per-view buys. This event did this many buys, right? And we don't know if the promoters profited or they lost money or they broke even. So
to me, I'm going off of, like, I follow Errol Spence, and he talked about how he does his contract. So he's on PBC, and I don't see how he does it one way, and then the rest of the fighters on PBC does it the other. Like when he does a fight, he get guaranteed a small percentage, like 1 million, 2 million for a big fight, and the rest of that money he gets on the back end. Versus where Terrence Crawford was getting that top rank, where he was. That's why Top Rank was mad. It was like, look, we giving you $6 million to fight Amir Khan. We giving you $4 million to fight Kell Brook and Kavaliakis. That money never came back. So, but that was guaranteed upfront money where he was making 5 and plus. Where PBC, and I know at least Errol Spence, I haven't looked at the other ones, but Errol Spence says he signed his contract getting 1 million, 2 million on his pay-per-view, and the rest of that money is on the back end, and that's how he gets 6 million.
So you're faulting Bud? I mean, to me, Bud seems to have a good.
Y'all are. It's always everybody gets PBC fucking up the model, blah 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 blah. No, if his model is like what Errol is doing, that seems logical to me. Guarantee me 1 million, but then I'm gambling on myself that it's going to do well, and I will make that $3, $4, $5 million back.
Right. If you have access, if you 100% trust the person you're doing business with, and you have an attorney, and you have access to all the books.
All right. So I'm giving Dave. This is a question for you as a promoter. Take out names. You're a promoter, and you have your fighter. That's A side. You go find a B fighter that has no promotion, that the negotiation is between the fight itself. But now this B fighter comes to you and say, I want to see what you paying for this venue. I want to see what you paying for concessions. I want to see what you paying for everything in, what you making for t-shirts. You do you as a promoter, do you do that? Do you get
That's a disingenuous way of framing it. That's a disingenuous
that's a promotion. That's a promoter. That's what you do as a promoter.
That's not
what you're leaving out. What you're leaving out is Dave in this scenario will be guaranteeing the B fighter a percentage of the net revenue or percentage of the back end. That's what you left out because that is apparently
you're going to get a percentage of the back end.
But you left that out, Randy. You didn't say that shit.
So that's a big difference on just getting a percentage of the
growth. Hold on. I'm not even going over this hypothetical, the end part, because that has never been proven that was it. That was in the contract. Because if it was, then you're saying that Bud.
So you saying that they're lying, that they just lied and made that up? That they were getting the
I don't think that 35%. I think that came out of nowhere. His nephew said that was a lie, and he said he signed the contract.
Well, that they were getting a percentage of the net.
No, he said he got the lowest percentage. He never said he gonna get the back end 35% and not know the rest of the shit that's going on. He never said that. Bud never said that.
I thought it was
reported
the report that they were gonna get.
Yeah, because Max Kellerman did a whole fucking show on the shit.
Fuck Max Kellerman.
Oh, right, because it doesn't suit your narrative. So fuck Max Kellerman.
I'm going by the person. I'm going by the quotes from the fighter's mouth. Listen. Bud said he agreed to the fucking contract. He said he agreed to everything in the contract.
No, not Bud. I agree to all their BS.
He agreed. So you saying he agreed to everything in the contract? What are you saying?
Well, I don't know if that's exactly what that.
Oh shucks.
Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly what that shit
Well, like
means.
First of all, like I don't know, like why do you keep bringing up like Bud's cousins and nephews? Like
this guy, man, he's supposed to be
those are not reliable
analyst guy. This guy works for analyst his whole fucking life.
I know
Bud's cousin and shit as a reliable source of information.
This like those are not like I don't care what nobody who says that they related to this. Like why?
Thank you.
Like why are you bringing that up as like a viable resource?
He has more fucking authority.
Like how do you know?
Where did Max Kellerman get his information from? Was he sitting?
He had reliable sources, and all of us go to ESPN News and all that, and we're not listening to anybody's like cousins, uncles, nephews, and to say that because they just won't.
He was right.
But peep this. We can't believe Floyd Mayweather, even though Floyd Mayweather talked to Al Heyman every day. And Al Heyman is a second father to Floyd. Don't believe Floyd.
Second, third hand access. I'm talking straight from the source's mouth.
Whatever the fuck, man. Get out of here, man.
I'm talking straight from the source's mouth, and y'all talking about second, third hand access. That's the difference.
If somebody talked to your niece or something like that, and they were saying about how much you were getting paid or something like that.
Why ain't you addressing what Crawford said that he agreed?
Come on, let me finish my point. If somebody talked to your niece or your nephew,
that's what you said,
and they ask you like how much Randy get paid or doing that, is that a reliable source?
If he's part of your camp, yes.
I don't care.
What is his history? You were analyst.
That's just like what's his name? Benny the boxer. Benny the boxer been reporting on this fight for months.
Right. How long? What is his nephew's history of reporting on the events? What's his history? What's his track record?
Care. But he can't.
You don't what his history of reporting is?
You don't care at all.
All right. So I don't give a. So what I'm saying is,
you hired him, Dave. You hired Randy to work for you. This guy writing up. This guy's an analyst. Can I unreliable sources of information? Go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
So if somebody who has placement and access states something, I'm not going to jump out and say, "Oh, I'm gonna take that as word." But when the exact source come out and back up what he said, he came back and said he agreed to everything that PBC has given. So, and then you got the WBC president saying that, yeah, the contracts has been sent out. Spence has been signed his, and Crawford we haven't heard back from him. So that's three sources. And he came back and said that, yo, I had never heard about that money situation that they're talking about. So that's three sources. The source itself, somebody with placement and access, and the head of the WBC who drafted the contract. So no, I'm not going to listen to goddamn ESPN.
All right.
Well, tell me about analyst skills.
Yeah, all right. We've been talking about this, it seems like, for a couple of months. So with that said, this is Professor NIMS. I am signing off for the pundits of pugilism. I want to make sure that you do like and subscribe to this channel. We also want to hear your comments, right? So we want to look for ways to kind of improve the show. If you want to get at some of the pundits, we encourage all of that. But we're looking to grow this channel, and we appreciate all of y'all for rocking with us. Keep it popping, y'all. Peace out.